Alabama quarterback Bryce Young at the Manning Passing Academy got a chance to talk a little bit to the people of the media, people of the press, and Bryce Young had one message that if you are an Alabama fan, you are jumping with joy about. And Bryce had a good season last year. He had a great season last year. First year starting quarterback, sophomore season, set single-season school passing records for passing yards, 4,872, touchdown passes with 47, total touchdowns with 50, was an All-American, consensus All-American, was a Heisman Trophy winner, won a host of several individual accolades as a sophomore. Not a junior or a senior, but as a sophomore, he has his handprint and his cleat print enshrined forever at Denny Chimes as a permanent team captain. Bryce Young did a lot in his first season just last year, but when it came down to talk about it, Bryce considered last year a failure. And we have a clip here from the Manning Passing Academy of Bryce Young talking about this. Listen to your quarterback when it comes to breaking down this past season.
What does the Heisman mean in the context of the season where you might have fell short of that?
It doesn't mean that much. I don't want to downplay it all because it's a huge honor. It's a huge blessing. It's something you dream of as a kid. So it definitely doesn't. It's not like it doesn't mean anything. But at the end of the day, my goals were to win a championship. Especially, that's our goal every year. That we don't shy away from it. That's our standard. It's definitely something cool to look back on, and probably be more fun to look back on down the line. But right now, in the moment, last year's season was a failure. So for me, for everyone, because we didn't win, and that's what our goal is. So that's what it is.
That was Bryce Young from the Manning Passing Academy. And it just shows you how much different the expectations are at Alabama versus any other program in college football. It just shows you the expectations that, Alabama puts on itself. It's different from everybody else. And the expectations that people put on Alabama different from anyone else. Anybody else that went 13-2 a season ago, that boasted a Heisman Trophy winner a season ago, that boasted the Bronco Nagurski Award winner a season ago, that boasted 2 1,000-yard receivers and a 1,000-yard running back a season ago, any other team that boasted a conference championship a season ago, got to the college football playoff, won a semifinal matchup, and came close to winning a national championship, that program is going, where the Great Goose at? Can I get some Great Goose and get loose? Where's the hen at? Where's that yak? Where's that Hennessy bottle at? Can I pop that one time? Where's the celebration? We did go 13-2. We did do a lot of great things. But at Alabama, it's, all that's cool, but no national championship to show for it, which means we didn't hit our ultimate goal, which means we failed. Different expectations. When you look at other programs and the University of Alabama football team, completely different expectations. And once again, with this being Bryce Young saying this, as fans, this should have you very excited because to me, this means Alabama's going to be stepping on everybody's neck in the upcoming season. Bama's going to be stepping on necks. When Bryce Young says this, Bama's going to be stepping on necks here in the upcoming season because we've seen, defensive players. We've seen Will Anderson. We've seen Brian Branch. We've seen Chris Braswell. We've seen different defensive players talk about the expectation on defense is supposed to be marquee, hardcore, elite. If we play our cards right, this could be the best Bama defense of the Nick Saban era. But to now hear Bryce Young, captain of your team, Bryce Young, captain of your offense, come out and say, I appreciate the Heisman. It's cool, not trying to downplay it, but right here where we stand, 2021 was a failure. Why? Bama did not win. we did not win the national championship. That's our goal every year. That's our standard. That's our mindset. That's our mentality every season. We didn't get it, so we didn't accomplish the mission. And at Alabama and Tuscaloosa, we are about accomplishing the mission. That's what Bryce Young is saying here. And so now we go to one of Coach Saban's favorite statements. How do you not waste a failure? That's what Coach Saban always says. When things don't go your way, when things don't go right, when you don't win, how do you not waste that failure, right? Because when you lose, everything's heightened. It becomes, what did I do wrong? How can I get better? How can I not slack up? How do I not, how do I refuse to take my foot off the gas pedal? What can I do to refine my game, to enhance my game? What can I do to ensure that this hurting feeling of losing is not there again, right? So, Coach Saban, how do you go about not wasting this failure? And I think Bryce Young, where his leadership is concerned, where his vocal leadership is concerned, and his mentality of always wanting to be on the up and up, he's going to will himself, and he's going to will this team to not waste a failure. And Bryce is in great company. You look at some of the quarterbacks in the Saban era at Alabama that lost in championship games or lost in big games, and they were able to bounce back the following year and have success. Case in point, Greg McElroy, 2008. Alabama should have beaten Florida in that SEC championship the first time around. It didn't happen. Those guys were hurt. Those guys were upset. But they used that loss. That loss burned within them. And they came back 2009. Did not waste that failure. Handled business. Remembering A.J. McCarron. A.J. McCarron suffered a loss to LSU 2011. Game of the century in Bryant Denny and Tuscaloosa. That loss burned within A.J. Came back, got LSU again, in the national championship game, handled business. A.J. McCarron again, lost to Johnny Manziel in Texas A&M in 2012. Loss burned the heck out of A.J. What did he do? Got back right, rolled the thing all the way to the national championship game against, Notre Dame, handled business there. 2015, Jacob Coker was benched at the start of the game against Ole Miss. He comes back out there and plays, brought the team back just about, lost the game there, but how does Jacob Coker not waste a failure? Runs the table the rest of the season, showing that leadership. Alabama wins the national championship. Same thing with Jalen Hurts, 2016 as a freshman. When Bama lost to Clemson, Hurts kept the photo of Clemson celebrating as his screensaver. And what does Jalen do? He comes back the next year, led the team to the national championship game against Georgia, and even though he got benched for Tua Tagovailoa in the second half of that game, Jalen Hurts still led that team there. And then Jalen had the ultimate poetic justice moment in 2018. Tua gets hurt in the SEC championship game. Jalen Hurts comes in off the bench and gets you to a 35-28 comeback victory. And then, of course, we have Mac Jones. 2019, in the Iron Bowl at Jordan-Hare, the 2 pick sixes in that game. He did have 4 touchdown passes, but everybody remembers those 2 pick sixes, and they go, well, Mac Jones lost the game, and Mac Jones cost us that game, and Mac and those 2 pick sixes. And what does Mac do? He let that burn within him, and he came in the Citrus Bowl against Michigan, tore Jim Harbaugh up, and then the very next year, he goes on a undefeated, led the team perfect national championship season to where he set single-season score records. So all of these guys found a way to not waste a failure. They lost in big games, but they found a way to bounce back and not waste a failure. So for Bryce Young, here's his opportunity. He said it. National 2021 season was a failure, did not win the national championship. He's ready to step on some necks this time around. Get that natty.